London Nights, a short story. This boy has never dreamt of far-off lands. He has never read the Arabian Nights because he has never read anything at all. Like every Aladdin, he is poor. He does not remember his parents. Indeed, he remembers very little. Beneath his grubby face, his mind and his childishness have been worn away by hardship and dirt. He lives day by day, begging for his dinner, stealing scraps of food when he dares. At night he sleeps curled up in front of warm shops and wakes splattered by mud from the road. And like every Aladdin, he finds his genie. This genie is not like other genies. It does not arrive in a magic lamp, nor even in a magic ring. It has no manacles, no Arabian dress, no blue skin. Instead, this genie arrives in the guise of a shabbily dressed little girl, who promises to grant all his wishes. 3 wishes? No, she is a generous genie. He gets 7. Hunger and strife have made the boy unimaginative. His first wish is for a loaf of bread. The girl steals it for him, and he eats it ravenously in large mouthfuls and smiles up at her. His genie smiles back with a beautiful smile. Next he wishes for a kiss. She does not have to steal for that. It is about now he begins to realise that, with only 5 wishes left, he ought to use them carefully. Bread has made him wise, and for his 3rd wish he wishes for a house. He does not see the girl dart around the neighbourhood on the lookout for empty houses, for families going away on holiday. He does not see her smash one back window with a brick and grab the spare key from the mantelpiece. All he sees is that he has wished for a house, and he has got a house. Sitting together on the floor by the fire of their new home, the boy looks at the girl and makes a 4th wish. He wishes for enough food to last the longest period of time he can think of, a year. He follows her to the larder, and she opens the door to reveal shelves upon shelves of food. That night they have a feast, eating vast mouthfuls with their hands, cooking hardly anything because they do not know how. She teaches him to toast bread and cheese over a fire. Afterwards they find a bed upstairs on which to collapse, full, hands on their stomachs, laughing. 3 more wishes, says his genie as they fall asleep. His 5th wish is for fancy clothes, like those he has seen hanging up in the shops for as long as he can remember. She slips out of the door, telling him to stay inside while she grants the wish. She returns and pulls out the crumpled trousers, shirt, waistcoat and jacket she has stuffed into her deep coat pockets. He puts them on. Ill-fitting though they are, and its strange contrast to his dirty face, he thinks he looks like a gentleman. The final touch. His genie takes off the shiny boots she has been wearing over her own and hands them to him, and she takes a new smart dress from her pocket, because she has granted herself a wish too. He saves the 6th wish. Days trip by, and the boy has never known happiness like this, and perhaps his genie has not either, for when he smiles at her, she smiles back. After 10 days of happiness, he racks his limited brains for a 6th wish. He does not have a grand imagination, but he once saw a picture of the countryside in a book he stole to use for a pillow, so his 6th wish is to see meadows and flowers and sun and cows. So she leads him through the streets of the city, down alleys of brick houses, past collapsing slums, to the train station. His hand in hers, she rushes him past the train guard when he has turned away, and together they leap up onto the train just as it is about to pull out of the station. They hide under the seats when the ticket warden comes, and the boy stares out the window in sheer amazement at the world. When they step outside into the bright sunlight and green grass, his eyes widen, because he never really realised before now that there was another world out there beyond the smoke and dirt of London. And at the end of a glorious 2 weeks of living in their house of wishes, of smiles and food every day, they build a fire in their back garden. They change into their old scruffy clothes to avoid getting their new ones dirty, and then over the fire they toast fruit on sticks and bread and cheese. They sing the few songs they know between them. When, exhausted, they lie back on the grass, his genie asks him if he has a 7th wish. Drifting softly into sleep, he says, "I wish life was always like this." She looks back at him with the sort of sadness that only a genie can know, the sorrow of not being quite able to grant a wish, but a wish for permanence is much like a wish for more wishes. And when Aladdin wakes, the fire is out and the sun is up, and his genie is gone. He stands, rubs his eyes confusedly, calls out and receives no answer. He walks. He gets to the back door and pushes on it, as it is locked. He looks in through the window, and a family, 2 parents, 2 children, are sat around the table eating off plates with knives and forks, all dressed up, all clean, all happy. He stares at them, and he does not quite understand. He wanders back to the streets that he has spent 1,001 nights on, in search of dinner and her. He looks in the alleyways and by the shops where he found her, but his genie is nowhere to be seen. She has slipped into the darkness of the London night like the magical being she